Joining me now, South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson. AG, you were part of this joint filing against Meta. Your state is set to receive nearly $250 million in the settlement. Tell us more.
Well, first off, I want to thank my colleagues across the country. Nearly every state and territory in the United States of America saw a problem with some of these big tech platforms were engaging in deceptive practices that were leading to children having significant and severe mental health problems. I've often told people, if you download an application on your laptop or your phone that is free, then you are the thing that is being bought and sold. And the algorithms on these platforms are designed to keep your eyeballs on that thing indefinitely, going through infinite doom scrolls. And a lot of our young people began to suffer from mental health problems as a result of these algorithms. And a number of these platforms knew that this was happening. And I want to applaud and commend Meta for taking responsibility and calling on other platforms to do this. They have a social responsibility to help the states combat the mental health issues that are plaguing our kids. Kids are dying, but they're suffering from depression and suicidal ideation and other kinds of maladies. And so we need to work together to stop this. So I applaud Meta for their efforts.
So if you sign the agreement, if your state signs the agreement, then the payments, it's annual installments over 10 years, 30% of the $18 billion. But that's contingent on YouTube and TikTok also putting in these daily limits. But one of the things that the editorial board of the Journal points out this morning is that an advantage of settling for Meta is that states get the money pronto, is what they say, with few constraints on how it can be spent. What are you going to do with the money? Are you going to take that money and give it to victims in your state, families that have lost a child to suicide? Are you going to do mental health programs? And what's the plan here?
Well, I've already spoken to the leadership of the General Assembly. They're the appropriators of any money that we collect on behalf of the state of South Carolina. And I have strongly encouraged them to direct much of this money to go to mental health or remediation for kids who suffer from mental health issues, going to our mental health agencies. That is probably the priority for me. Also, technology upgrades in state government would be another area that I would direct this money or ask that this money be directed to. But at the end of the day, it's really about addressing the underlying issue. It's about addressing the mental health issue of our children and also holding technology companies accountable and make sure they keep these safety guardrails in place, and also the robust parental controls that give parents more access and more control over what their children are doing online.
Now, this is about Meta, but are you planning to go after other companies? I mean, an app is created every day. Hundreds of apps are created every day. So if a child can't be on Instagram or Facebook, they're going to go find something else.
Well, look, we're still hopeful that large platforms like YouTube and TikTok will follow suit. Meta is a juggernaut in this space, and we believe that if some of the bigger ones will follow suit, these will become the industry norms and standards and practices that all platforms will follow. Again, if they don't follow this, then the states will be there to hold them accountable if they harm our children or harm our citizens in general.
Okay. All right. There's some other news in your state. Big news. Darlene Graham winning the Republican nomination for one of South Carolina's Senate seats after beating Congressman Ralph Norman in the primary runoff. AG, you did congratulate her on X. And you wrote this: Democrats have assembled the most radical statewide ticket in South Carolina history. United as one Republican Party. We will defeat them and march to victory. So let's talk about this and the path forward over the next couple of months, as we're just 68 days away from the midterm elections.
Well, first off, let me start off by stating the obvious. This was not on anyone's bingo card at the beginning of the year. The loss of Senator Lindsey Graham left a huge hole in our state and in our political ecosystem. And obviously, no one anticipated that we would have to do a special Senate election. When I concluded the primary season at the end of June, Senator Graham and I were going to be top of the ticket, ready to go into November. And then, of course, 6 weeks later, we find ourselves going through a bruising primary season. Ralph Norman is a wonderful congressman, someone I competed with in the governor's race, and ran an admirable campaign. So did Senator Darlene Graham. I'm very proud of both of their efforts, but Darlene Graham has been chosen by the people of South Carolina. Now I'm calling on the people of South Carolina to unite and come together, because what's in front of us is so much more important than what is behind us.
Yeah. How important was President Trump's support of her, in your opinion? Because it was only about 18,000 votes between Ralph Norman and Darlene Graham.
Look, I think President Trump's endorsement is the gold standard in endorsements in Republican primary politics. And obviously, he came to one of the most conservative areas in the state. He doubled down on her. And I think that was probably the difference maker. This was, I mean, literally the day or two before the election, polls had this as a 0.1% difference, between the two candidates that were competing in the primary runoff. So, I mean, President Trump's endorsement absolutely had an impact on it.
All right. Well, we are certainly going to be watching everything leading up to the midterms, and we're going to be watching, obviously, this settlement with Meta, you and the other states. Attorney General Alan Wilson, thank you for being with us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay with us.